Hallelujah. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happens when I call. Come on, I dare you tonight just to call out the name of Jesus. Something happens when we speak his name. No other name is higher than that name. When I call, there's a story of a man who was sitting on the roadside. The Bible says that everybody tried to shut him up. But he said, I know something's going to happen when I call on that name. So even though they tried to keep him quiet, he said, Jesus. He cried, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, son of David, have mercy on me. Oh, something happened. Something happened. Yeah. Come on, be like that man. Take off the weight and call on the name of Jesus. Yeah. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happened. Yeah. Something happened. When I walked in the crying, calling in my Jesus, Jesus. Hello, Simeon. How you doing? Hello, thank you for joining. Simone, is it Simone? Okay, sorry. How is everyone doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Sharice Johnson Moore here. How is everyone doing? So, how is everyone doing today? What is everybody up to? Something happens when I call you, the Jesus. I'll go ahead and, something happens when I call you, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Now call you, just Jesus, Jesus. When I call you, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Happens when I call you. When I call you. When I call you. Something happens when I call you. Yes, hello everyone, and how is everyone doing today? Sharice Johnson Moore here. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to go ahead and get this room started. Get the room started. Yes. When I call you. Just take a second right now. Just call on the name of Jesus. Yes. Sometimes it is so good to have that. Something happens when I call you. Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Yes. All right, everybody. Let's get started with our, daily inspiration, motivational, thing that's going on for us authors. I've created something for authors here on TT. So I want to welcome you to TikTok Wednesday, and TikTok Wednesday is to
come and, get some knowledge, get knowledge, get this knowledge that we have, that we need, that is necessary for us as authors, right? And I know that as an author, when I first started out, I did not know that all the things in the 9 years I have learned, I had to actually apply them. So the things that I come before you to talk about, hey, Uncle P, how we doing? The things that I come to talk to you about are the things that I have already experienced, okay? This is firsthand actionable knowledge, okay? Things that I have done. I have put my heart and soul into the things that I talk about with you as an author. So this is the knowledge that I share is not something that I made up, or she not really no author and she ain't really doing nothing, and because I must say this. There are people out on the internet that pretend that they do these things that they say. And I have ran across a lot of people being scammed by people saying they can help them with a published book. I've heard all the horror stories where they work with this company, they work with these people, they be this company and they work with them, and it is, hello Harold, how are you doing? Thank you and welcome for coming in my broadcast. I thank you. And this is something else that I have ran across as of recently, where people are actually scamming people out of money when it comes to vendor events. Okay? I ran across people that are going around pretending that they work for these vendors. I'm in plenty of groups, plenty of author groups, and I want to help others not to fall for the okie doke, especially when it comes to vendor events. And I want to say the number one thing is do your due diligence. Do your due diligence when it comes to doing vendors events, as an author, okay? Hi, Lovelace, how you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. And I want to say this is something that is so important for authors to keep a mindset of being always having a head on a stick, on a swivel. You gotta look both ways because you cross the street. You gotta keep your mind focused and also do your homework at the same time, because it is a thing that like I said, I've heard the horror stories of the authors saying that someone said that, they're going around, taking people's emails, their FB posts, their posts on social media, and pretending to be someone else. Okay? Pretending to be the person in charge of the events. Okay? Recently that happened with a friend of mine, and they took the post and went and spread it around to a lot of people. And when I got in contact with one of a friend of mine on FB, she said, I just got the same exact email, but it wasn't from you. It was from this other person named Carol Lyford Archer. Okay? Whenever someone approaches you to do a vendor's event, get in contact with the person on the flyer. Get in contact with the person on the flyer. See, the one thing about scammers is that they don't think you're going to read anything. And they think that you're going to be in a desperate place where you want to have desperation of you need to make money, so you'll fall for anything that is thrown at you in an email or a post. Okay? So please, authors, be very diligent and reach out to the people to make sure you're talking to people about this event before you give up any money. Okay, I'm just giving y'all heads up, cause that's happened to an event. That has happened to an event where I was the vendor coordinator. Okay, and it has happened to other people that have had other events that I know personally that this has happened to. So please, you notice, if you don't know the person, reach out to them, whether it's DM, whether it is a phone number on there, call them. If it's an email, call a text, email the person directly to the person, right? To get this information. But the best thing to do is to call them and then ask a bunch of questions, okay? Ask them, and the other person you talk to on the other end ought to know where the event is at. If the person can't tell you where this event is at, you talking to the wrong person. I'm just giving you a heads up, because the person that's throwing the event know where their event is being held at. They know where the event is being held at. Okay? They know what city, they know what state, they know what town, they know what they know. Okay? Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Hello. So please keep your eyes open when you are being approached by people that are offering you vendor events. Okay? Do your due diligence and give people phone calls. All right, so tonight is a conversation about how do authors become vendors at events. We're gonna talk about this, okay? We're gonna deep dive into this, and being a vendor is one of the fastest ways for authors to sell books in bulk, build real connections, and get in front of new audiences. It's a great way for authors to get in front of new audiences. People that have never seen you before, people you've never met before, people that don't know you are author. Hello, April, how are you doing today? People that have, new interest in reading something new, because that is the one way of getting seen is at a vendor's event. You a new author? Okay, cool. New authors, you go ahead and you research and you get everything together and make sure, you do your due diligence and, pay for your table and make sure you know what all is required when you attend. Okay? But most authors don't know how to get in the room. Some authors don't know how to get into the room to become vendors. So I want to give you these ways, the different ways that you can become a vendor at a vendor's event. Apply through the event vendor's application. A lot of these events have vendor application forms. Okay? Vendor application form. No, they are not going to ask you, they're not going to come back and then come and ask you for all this information in an email. They're always going to have a vendor's application. If the person comes to you and then replies, well, I need your name, number, email, phone number, and all this other stuff in a form, and then they're trying to tell you that you got to send this money, different ways, or they don't have how can I say it? That you can pay somebody through Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, Stripe. You can pay them through the different PayPal, different electronic ways of paying people, right? But it is always good to always know that there's always going to be an application. An application you got to fill out. Like, okay, the application will consist of the information that you need to return to them, right? Then you're going to have vendor fees. Vendor fees are, the fees you pay for attending this event. You got a table, you're renting a table, and you pay for a certain amount of time to be there, maybe from 12 to 6 p.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and you have a deadline. They're always going to give you a deadline of when your application has to be back in and your vendor fee. Okay? So, if you would like to be a vendor at an event, these are the following places that you can find vendor events to apply for. Event websites, okay, Eventbrite, okay, and social media pages. But please do your due diligence in finding out and talking to people before you give any money. Okay, find out all you can. If you're not applying, you're automatically disqualifying yourself. If you're not applying for vendors events, you are automatically disqualifying yourself. Okay? Network directly with the event organizers. Network directly with event organizers. Don't wait for a post to reach out. Okay? Don't wait for a post to reach out. If you hear word of mouth, I give you one that's coming up in November. Her name is Deborah Jefferson. Okay, Deborah Jefferson has a vendors event called Our Words Matter. Okay, she's also known by the name of Carol Bed Starts. Okay, she has a big event in Aiken, South Carolina that she has once a year in November called Our Words Matter. Okay, and you want to DM event hosts. If you know somebody that's having an event, get in contact directly with the host. Okay, email the organizers. Okay, email the organizers and attend events and connect in person. Say you want to do an event, right? You want to do an event, but what is happening, you may not be able to do a vendor's table the first time you go. You can go, sit down, check it out, walk around, be a patron. Go there and see what's going on and find out who the coordinator is for yourself, who the head person in charge is, okay? And gain and have a conversation with them, but go and check out the setup, how everything looks, how everything is, go around and, talk to the people. Use it as a networking event. The first time, if you can't get a vendor's table, if you cannot attend as a vendor, go as a patron. Go as a patron. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, Miss Wanda, how you doing today? So that is something that you can do. If you cannot attend as a vendor, go and check it out for yourself and go buy some books. Go meet the other authors. Go and ask their opinion about how the event is going. Things of that nature. Hello, Bridget. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so tonight, my name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and I want to welcome everyone in to TikTok Wednesday night. We start at 6. And our topic for tonight is how do authors become vendors at events? Okay, this is so important for authors, right? So, you know, we just did number two, network directly with event organizers. Okay. Now, I say you go to, DM the event host, email the organizers, and attend events and connect in person. Okay. Relationships will get you in rooms faster than applications. Relationships will get you in the room faster than the applications. Okay? There's no shame in going to an event and being a participant. Take you about $100, $200, $300, and go in and purchase five, depends on how many vendors are there. Go and participate. If they selling food, they selling dinner, they doing this. Participate, go in there, have fun, kind of treat it like it's a event that treat it like in its event like you're actually working there. You're actually in the place. You actually have a table, but you don't. But you want to support the other authors, support the host, things of that nature. Okay. Now, number three is partner with other vendors or speakers. Yeah, sow a seed. Yes, ma'am. Sow a seed. Miss Wanda say sow a seed. So right. Yes. Because when people notice when you come and you participate and you come in and sow and fruits, your fruits of labor. You come in, you sow, you come in and buy people's books and stuff. And then when you come next year, and some of those same people might be there next year, and you got you a table, they be like, wait a minute, you look familiar. Where have I seen you before? Oh, I was here last year, but I was just coming in to support. I was coming in to, show my support in the place last year. You could do that. I've done that at an event before too. Okay. You can as partner with other vendors or speakers, you could share a table. You could collaborate with a speaker. Or you could bundle your book with someone else's services. That's a good one. That is a good one. Bundle your book with someone else's services. Okay? They must be aligned. You and that other author or the speaker, alignment is crucial. Okay? And this is a great this is a great way for beginners to start. Great way for beginners to start to have a low budget, but you want to be in the room. You collaborate with somebody else. Okay. Number 4, join vendor directories and communities. Okay. Join vendor directories and communities. We all know FB got them. Okay. FB, they got I'm in 10 myself on that app. 10 vendor groups. Also use your local business directory. Okay. This is something I've done myself. But I think I mentioned the last time we went through this list was that you want to turn around and join your Chamber of Commerce. Okay, Chamber of Commerce, find out what's happening locally, who's having the vendors events, who's having these events in your area, and where necessarily you don't have to turn around and travel all out of state. If you are on a budget, okay. Event vendors list. Okay, event vendors list. I know a young lady that she has a list of all the time of somebody having something somewhere. Okay. You also, um, you know, if you, I'll say this, if you don't have nothing going on like that in your area, you can create it yourself. Okay. Okay. If you do not have anything like that in your area, you can create that yourself. Hello, Miss Barbara. How you doing? Hello. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. You can create it yourself. Okay. Vendor opportunities, you can go into your little search engines and search for vendor opportunities near me or pop-up shops and plus your city. Okay, because I did that the other day. Pop-up shops in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And they came up with a nice little list too. Some of them are far out and some of them are near me. And I was like, oh, okay. Um, and call people. Call them. Call them and find out the information before you go assuming anything. Okay? Do not assume anything. Always ask questions first before you give up that money. Okay, that money. Okay. Number 5. I think this is number 5. Is this number 5? Am I reading that right? Yeah, this is number 5. Okay, because I always have my little notes and stuff in front of me. Okay. So, you can start locally. People always handle pop-up shops. They got markets. They got community events. You can start there if you are first-time author. This is perfect for first-time authors. Or you could turn around and find 5 other authors in your area and find out if you can use a local community center for a book signing event. And you and the 5 authors can turn around, and if they asking for to charge a fee and stuff, you can turn around, you and the 5 authors can maybe like split the fee, or you charge a fee at the door. Okay. Things like that. Okay, you can go to the churches, you can go to schools, you can go to small business pop-ups, you can go to local fairs. They always had a circus in town, or they got what they call it, circus. They got the like the events. Okay, say if I was living in Hampton, Virginia, right? Give this example. Say I'm living in Hampton, Virginia, and we got the Hampton Jazz Festival coming up, right? Have you ever thought of having a vendor's table at a jazz festival? That just ping on top of my head, right? Because I've been to the Hampton Roads Jazz Festival, and it is off the chain every year, right? And so find out how much the vendor tables are. They always got food vendors there, so why can't they have some book vendors? You know what I'm saying? Don't cut yourself. Don't my grandma say, don't cut off your nose and spite your face, okay? So that's a good one. Local music events, things like that. We have what they call that. It's something they have over another city over, and the town comes out. They have it every July, and it's like the country fest or something. It's something big here. But I know that be where they come in, where they got the horses and the cows and the ranching and the yodeling and all. It's a big country event here. And they have those events. So this year I'm going to apply for that. Okay, to be a vendor at that event. You never know where it might take you. Don't wait for big stages. Don't wait for big stages. Start with the local table. Start small. You can start small and then increase as the value. the value of exposure you will obtain if you go, you start small and do the little increase over time. That kind of helps you pace out how much the budget will be for an event like that. Because gas going up, gas, and then you got to travel, and things of that nature, and you got to have all your equipment together and stuff. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the hearts. For the wink wink. Thank you. Thank you for the heart me. I greatly appreciate it. And the thing is sometimes us as authors, I'm gonna say this. Sometimes we try to put the cart before a horse. Sometimes we try to put the cart before the horse. Okay, hey, I thank you. Thank you, one. Thank you so much for the goat. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And the thing is, sometimes we can't. I'm not trying to keep you small. So please, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to keep you small as an author, right? Because there ain't nothing small about being an author, okay? Nothing small. But like I said, sometimes we try to put our carts before a horse. And sometimes we think big. Yes, there's nothing wrong with thinking big. Ain't not, what's that commercial I keep thinking every time I hear that? And the dude got a head wrap on his head. He said, think big. Think big. You got to think big. Yes, we have those, but sometimes our finances keep us in a certain level. But if we budget our money right, we can go and do bigger things, more things, increase our exposure. Okay. And that's where the budget come in, okay? So we're going to go to now number 6. Leverage your existing network. The people that you know. We all going to church. We going to the community center. We going to the gym. We going to to the Y. We going here, there, and everywhere. And we know all these people. Utilize the people that you know. Utilize the people that you know, from the choir director who might got the choir director who do the choir. He might, he does choir. He's a choir director, but then he also got a shop he sell clothes in. So you go talk to the pastor, be like, okay, pastor, can I is it possible I can have a book signed at your shop? Or go to the beauty salon. You go to get your hair done every other day. You spend money. Now, let's get a return on our investment. Okay. That means ask the shop owner, lady on the shop, do your hair. You send her a chair once a month, twice a month, however many times. Say, ask her, hey, hello, can I have a book signing in your beauty salon? And then after she say, yeah, okay, well, can I keep a stock of books where, you can sell them for me. You get $5 and I get $20. Okay, make it worth their while, So, ask your job, ask the network that you have. This is how I had to find out who was in my corner and who was not. When I started asking the people around me to help. Okay? So, I found out who would help here in Uniontown and who would not. Okay? Because I opened my mouth and asked the question. Do you know that my pastor opened his doors, him and his wife, opened their door to me to have my book signing with my first book deal at the church. The first lady said, for her and her husband said, you can come, you right now, you are doing something positive. So we don't mind supporting positivity in our neighborhood, right? But the other churches around me, I did not get a peep out of them. I asked, I wrote. Yes, you're gonna hear some no's now. You're gonna hear some no's, okay? But you can't pay attention to them damn things. You can't pay attention to them. You can't pay attention to the no's. You got to keep moving forward to the yeses. Get to the yeses. Get over there. Keep it moving. Don't get stuck. And please do not get all depressed and mad and sad about somebody telling you no. Because what one won't, the other will. God will send you a replacement for the no. Okay? So I just want you to remember that. Remember that. Okay? You do you have events where vendors are welcome? You ask them. People in church, community. Ask people. Most people skip this, but it's powerful. They skip their whole community. They skip everybody around them. They want to go, I want to go to this big event. I want to go to the national black authors in Houston, Texas. And I want to go to, what's the other one? They got some nice ones out of state from where I live at. But I realized sometimes my budget wasn't there, so I had to stay home. I had to stay near. I couldn't roam, I couldn't go play with a deer and antelope play. I can't go out there sometimes. I had to stay home. So, visibility brings invitation. Okay, now this is how I curated that move, right? So, we go to church. People have church programs. I go to the church. Okay, sit in church and carry me 5 books. I carried me 5 books to the church program because I was always in church all the time, right? I carried me 5 books. And yes, I would ask the people to buy the books that was in the congregation. Well, honey, look, I can't have no book signed at your church, but I'm going to get round to selling a book at your church, okay? Okay. Especially a book geared towards women, and women are the majority in your church. Come on now. All right. So, I think we're on number 9. Okay, that was number 8. Number 9 is pitch yourself as both the vendor and a speaker. You could do 2 for 2. What's that show used to be? It was Love something, where it was Love Connection. We're gonna say 2 and 2, 2 and 2, right? And so this is next level. This is your next level. Okay? Instead of just I want a table, say this instead. Can I also speak, teach, or do a session? Offer your mouth work, right? You got a mouth that work, right? You're talking all the time, right? So, you could use that as speaking, and also, well, if I speak at your program, may I have a table too? Ask. Closed mouth don't get fed. Okay, closed mouth don't get fed. Closed mouth don't get fed. Okay, so ask. This increases your value and your chances of being at the event. When you ask them, okay, I would like, I can also, serve as speaker. I can serve as a moderator. I can serve as in a session, on your panel, and voila, you never know what might happen, okay? Now, number 10 is create your own vendor opportunities. Didn't I say that a while back? Yes, child. Create your own vendor opportunities. The doors aren't opening. I say this. If you see that there's nothing like that in your community, in your vicinity, create it yourself. Create it. Open the doors for yourself, right? Like the hospital has a bookstore. They have a gift shop, right? So I remember A while back when I first became an author, I did go to the hospital and ask the vendor, the gift shop, could I sell my books in the gift shop? Okay. That was not successful, but I always keep trying and try and try again, right? Because it might come under new ownership. Okay, you never know. Never know. It might change hands. It might change owners. It might change the way they do things. Always keep trying. Okay. Host your own book event. I had an epiphany about that the other day. It's a large, Elk Lodge, those kind of places, right? I could walk from my house three houses over, and the lodge sit at the end of my block, right? It said, okay, like it's a T Street, and my street run into it, right? And the lodge sit right there. I could turn around and see how much I can rent the lodge out to have a vendors event and invite other people. We got paparazzi. You got the jewelry. You got the Avon lady, Mary Kay lady. You got the lady sell clothes. You got the lady got the you got the lady do hair. I just went real crazy with my mind. Just sat here real for a minute. And those are the people that I thought of if I were to call to ask them to come on, let's have a big vendors event and invite everybody in Uniontown to attend. Hey, you never know what might happen. Okay. Organize the vendor showcase. Partner with a venue. Like that hall, they got I've been in it before, right? The lodge, the little halls, it's big open space, and then they got the kitchen, right? And the bathrooms and stuff. That place is big. It's so big, I could put maybe 20 tables in that building. 20 tables in the building, right? And have food served out the kitchen because they got a full kitchen in that place. Okay, and they do rent it out because I've been to several events where other people had events and I attended there. So I was sitting there thinking, yeah, you know what? I might go check on that tomorrow, y'all. Okay, so stop waiting for don't sit around and wait for nobody. Don't sit. Don't some. Do not sit around and procrastinate about the exposure that you need for your book. Okay? And I say this by any means necessary. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about in the legal manner, right? I'm talking about the legal sense of mind where you go and if you have your tax your paper you get from the state for your sales tax, you can turn around and become your own vendor and find places to rent around town. Plain places to rent around town. You might want to go, ask the people, is that possible at City Hall or something, And then, check with the people at City Hall. And then, okay, well, I was thinking about using this property over here off of this corner. Where the what they call Sheets gas station is, and right there across from the Sheets gas station is the Aldi's, and give them a description of where you want to set up at, because there's nothing there. Get your nice big tent, get your emblems, everything, your business name, all that stuff, and then go up there maybe once a week on a Saturday. Create your own, create ways for you to sell your books without having to spend a whole lot of money. Okay? Make a way out of no way. Turn the midnight into day. The joy cometh in the morning. Okay? So those are some things. I want to go through this list again for you. All right, so we got number 1 is apply through event vendor applications. Number 2, network directly with the event organizers. Number 3, partner with other vendors or speakers. Number 4, join vendor directories or communities. Number 5, start local pop-ups, markets, community events. 6, leverage your existing network. Okay. Hello, hi, Trap. Hey, hi, how you doing? Trapina, hi, how are you doing today? Number 7, use social media to attract opportunities. You know, you can use social media. You know, everybody can use social media to attract opportunities. Uh, you know, um, and number 8 is attend the events first, then position yourself. We talked about that. Number 9 is picture yourself as both a vendor and a speaker. And number 10 is create your own vendor opportunities. Okay, create your own vendor opportunities. All right, so what you need to be ready for, this is the important stuff. You know, it's about clarity, knowing clarity about what's going on, right? So before becoming a vendor, make sure you have the following: copies of your book. Ooh, child. Don't wait till the last minute to order them neither. Please don't. Please don't wait till the last minute to order no books. Payment methods, Cash App, Zelle, Square, Stripe, QuickBooks, Zip books, those kind of ways where you can receive your money, okay? Or cash, okay? People still spend money, cash, get cash box, okay? Table setup, a tablecloth, your display, and your signage. That means what your emblem logo, how, what that looks like on front of your table. Or you can get and also you can also have an elevator pitch, or you can just speak from the heart. Speak from the heart, but know what you're gonna say to the people. Okay. Marketing material, your flyers, your bookmarks, your banners, things of that for your event. Okay. Okay. As they all say, you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay? Be ready so you don't have to get ready. Have all these things prepared for an event before they even become opportunities for you. Be prepared. Get these items when you first become an author. Your backdrop, your business cards, your pens, your banners, stand-up banners, things like. Get all of these things before you before you go to get the opportunities, because then you'll already be ready. You'll be already halfway there, baby. Okay. The best way to start, best way to start was, of course, start local, low cost, and relational. Okay, that means reach out and use your community. Okay. Um, Now some other things that help you as well is if you're an author and you want help, I just want to say I can help you position your book, prepare you for the vendor's events, and creating a strategy that actually works, that actually sells. Okay, so we can sit down and have a meeting of the one-on-one visibility coaching session. Okay, one-on-one visibility coaching session, where we sit down and put a strategy together for you to get this visibility that you need, whether it's a podcast, whether you want to go do lives, whether you want to go, set up a vendor's table in your community, those kind of things, and we put a live content calendar, live content, your live content and your book content of what you're going to post every day, social media content calendar. There's so many other things that I could run down in that one-on-one visibility coaching session, but Come on, let's sit down and have it together. Okay. I wanted to also let you know that it is possible that you go to my link tree and you also have a authors vendors checklist. Okay, I have that today. It is available for you to purchase. Just go to my link tree and my profile, and it's sitting right there underneath the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo tickets. Okay, so you haven't got your author vendor checklist. You can purchase that today. And if you are in the Atlanta area, or you plan on going there for the holiday, you can go and take all of your friends and all your family, even the cheering. You can take the cheering too, okay? And you can go to the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo in Stockbridge, Georgia, May the 24th, 2026, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right? And we're having a book launch. Having a book launch. Say, having a book launch. Say, having a book launch. Say, wake up winning no matter what. Wake up winning no matter what. Yes. We are going to be launching the book, baby. Yes. With Miss Wanda D. Hollis, Motivational Queen. Yes. We are having a book launch, the Wake Up Winning No Matter What, Volume 3. We are launching that at the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo. Now, if you order your book today, you don't have no general fee to pay. If you order your book today, no general admission fee today. If you order your book today, no general admission fee today. Ow! Okay? Because you are supporting us when you purchase the book. Okay? So go, you can go to the website. You can go to the link tree and purchase your ticket. And you can go to the link tree and purchase your book at the same time. You can do one or the other. You got choices, we give you choices. We lay it out for you, So, I want to say that it is so important that you come in. We have so many things going on at the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo happening May the 24th. That is on a Sunday. Okay, Sunday. And we want to say happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yes, Miss Wanda D. Hollis is celebrating her birthday also the same day. Hey, you go, girl. Hey, how you doing? Ooh, hey, baby. Oh, okay. So I'm excited. Can't y'all tell? My friend having her birthday. She had lunch. She doing a party. She doing a expo. This girl, woo, child, you make me tired just thinking about that. Yeah. But we are gonna be in the place to be with Miss Wanda on Sunday. It is something you do not want to miss. Okay, so come on and meet me there. Meet me there. Come on there. Come on. Got to be, we got the party. We're having a party. Dancing to the music. Play Mr. DJ on the radio. Okay, so anyway, yes, we're having a party. We're having a party after the event for Sunday. What's up? We're going to go upstairs, change our clothes and everything. And then we're going to come all down all sexified, looking fabulous. We was already looking fabulous. We're going to be looking extra fabulous, okay? So y'all come out to the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo, May the 24th, this coming weekend. Yes, this coming weekend, baby. And you do not want to miss it, okay? It has been my pleasure to work with Miss Wanda through this whole event from the beginning to end. And hey, Miss Alice, how you doing, baby? And I'm gonna say this, right? Woo! My head spun like a top learning all this stuff, right? Cause it's a different thing when you attend them and then you work in the background, in the back, to learn how everything is being pulled off, the background, behind the scenes stuff. Getting the vendors, getting the place, doing it. It was like, okay, So, okay, I got some training in how to do my own event if I want to do it on a smaller scale, of course. But I did learn a lot. So if you ever have a chance as an author to go and be with someone that is getting ready to put on an event and you in the background and you on a team, you get to be part of the team, please make it do what it do for you to learn, okay? Because all this stuff pays off down the line, down the road, in case you want to throw your own event, okay? Take plenty of notes, okay? The do's and don'ts, boy, ooh, I ain't gonna get into that. But I want to say thank you, Miss Wanda, for giving me that privilege of becoming the vendor coordinator of the Ironman Up Empowerment Expo. And I want to say, if you ain't got your ticket, something wrong with you. Okay, if you don't got your tickets, go to this I Am Enough Empowerment Expo. It is something wrong with you. Okay, I want to just say that, right? Because everybody gonna be there. Everybody. Okay. We got DJ Grady Baby in the house. We have River Flow. We have Miss Janelle Harris. We have Miss Delisa. We have Dr. Lakeisha. We have we just got a whole bunch of people. Ooh-wee. I can't even name them all, but it's a whole crew. Okay, it's a whole crew. It's an entourage. You ever seen that show called Entourage? And they're like one person, and now all these 20 people walking behind. That's how we're gonna be rolling in the Iron Up Empowerment Expo. We're gonna be rolling down the street. We ain't gonna be doing none of that, but we're gonna be having fun, okay? All right, we're gonna be rolling. Picture me rolling. Oh, picture me rolling. Oh, sorry, I had to go back. Tupac, Russell. Yes, so please come. Please, you can still order your book today. Just go to the link tree in my profile and you can purchase your book today. Hey, CK, how you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. Hi, hello, everyone. So, does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, please place them in the comment section so I may answer them pertaining to the topic of how do authors become vendors at events. All right? Come on, we're going to do a Q&A. We're going to do some Q&A. Gonna do some Q&A. Oh, I'm sorry. Child, look, I'm sleepy, okay? Y'all, for those that know me, know I get up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, okay? So by this time in the evening, I'm kind of like, kind of like, yeah, okay, it's time to go to bed. Time to go to night. Okay, so so if you have any questions, or you would like to sit down with me and have a one-on-one visibility coaching session with me, please come. And I also have available for sale, it ain't number $9, is the author visibility vendor checklist. It is the author vendor checklist, where it has all the things that we talked about in what we talked about today, and a checklist to mark everything off so you don't miss anything or leave anything at home. Okay? All right. I love you all. And I want to say it has been a pleasure and an honor. And meet me back here tomorrow. Same black time, same black station. Okay. Sharice N. Johnson Moore, owner of Sharice N. Johnson Moore, LLC, publishing consultant and visibility coach, talking to you tomorrow. Deuces.